Hey guys, namaskar everyone. This is Shora back again with a new video. And this video is the second video of our Rust playlist. And in this video, I'm going to demonstrate and explain you what are variables and variable shadowing and mutability in Rust. So without talking too much, let's get started. To demonstrate this video, I have already created a new Rust project and opened it up with my VS Code. And here you can see I have named it as vers and mutes. And if you don't know how to create a new Rust project, then I would highly recommend you to watch my previous video, which is on creating new Rust projects and the explanation of the initial Rust structure, actually the project structure, and the using of macro, especially the formatting of the println macro. Okay, so println macro is kind of the building blocks of learning Rust, because it helps us to make the outputs, okay, and show the variables, the initial values, and debugging things in our terminal. So let's start learning the variables and shadowing variables and mutabilities in Rust. So first of all, if you want to declare a variable in Rust, we need to start typing with let. After typing let, we need to name the variable name. In this example, I'm going to name the variable name as my name, and I have named this as my underscore name because Rust recommend us to follow the convention of snake type case. For example, if you use camel type case here, it's going to give you a warning, I guess. For example, it's a Joe, and if you try to print it here, I mean in this placeholder, my name, it's going to work. Okay, it's going to work, but here you can see a warning is here that it actually recommend to use snake case. So snake case is this. So this is how you actually declare variables in Rust. And if you run it now, you can see the value Jo is here on the terminal. Fine. So here you can see another thing is here. If you double click on it, it's going to specify the variable type itself. So it's actually bounding this variable with a particular data type. Okay, so it's calling that this variable is only allowed to store a reference of strings, okay, which is this. So if you want to change it to a pure string, then it's not going to allow us to store this value just like this. Now you need to do a different implementation of a string itself. For example, show_of. If you want to store show_of inside this value now, I mean the variable now, which is which expects a string type, data type, you need to specify the value using a string followed by clone and then from, then the string value itself. Okay, you can also do instead this thing to string. Okay, this is equivalent to the previous on. Okay, so if you now run this thing, here you can see the result is still visible here. Now let's say you want to change the name at the very next line after declaring that variable, and you want to change it to Raj, okay, dot to string. And if you want to run this, you can see a whole bunch of errors are visible here on the terminal. So why this is happening, you can see the answer is here on the error. So I forgot to mention that Rust has a very good error messages, so you can literally figure out what is the problem here. Here you can see that cannot assign twice to immutable variable my name. Okay, so this my name is immutable. It means you cannot mutate it later on. To mutate it, you need to declare another thing before initializing that variable, which is mute, which means this variable now can be mutable. Okay, so now if you wanna test it by running it, you can see the value ras is visible here on the terminal. Why? Because it's actually mutating the initial value and replacing it with Raj. So now the updated value has been actually this new value is now set inside this variable. That is why Raj is visible as the printed result. So this is called the mutability in Rust. So I hope you understand what is mutability and how you can declare variables in Rust. Now let's move forward and learn what are shadowing in Rust. For example, let's create another variable called planet and give it a value called earth, which is a string data type. Sorry for the typo. And let's say you want to print it. I live in, let's make a placeholder, which is going to be populated by planet variable. So if you now run this, you can see I live in Earth. That's nice. And here you can actually shadow this particular variable by redeclaring it with let command. I mean, not command, let keyword. So planet is going to be Mars now. And let's convert it to string data type. That's nice. If you run this now, you can see I live in Mars. So the only thing which differentiate the mutable with shadowing is the let keyword. In mutability, you don't actually, you don't oftenly use or redeclare the variable name using let. Instead, you just call the variable name and change it. Okay, and in the case of shadowing, you just redeclare entire variable name in the value. This is what called or known as variable shadowing in Rust. This not only this, you can also change the entire value of it. For example, 1. So this is here you can see the type is now i32 now. Okay, but the initial one was a string. You can see this line of code is a little bit dimmed because this is no more orking state and this one is now the updated one. It's overshadowed this initial declared variable. That is what shadowing in Rust. Now let me tell you what are this string and i32 is. As I have explained before, this is the thing that actually going to tell this variable that only this string type of values are allowed to store in this particular variable. For this particular variable, only i32 is going to be allowed. You cannot declare, you cannot give other values here. For example, you cannot now store any string values here. Okay, as I have already mentioned, i32 is only allowed here. So this is what type declaration also for the variables in Rust. So I have covered how you can declare variables, what are mutability in Rust, and how you can use shadow variables in Rust, and what are the type declaration here in Rust. So I have mentioned Rust a whole bunch of time, so it may sound lame, but yeah, it is what it is. And I hope you guys understand what are variables, mutability, and shadowing in Rust. Again, I have called Rust again and again. It's boring, but it's really fast. Okay, so I hope you understand it. If you do like this video, then make sure to like the make sure to hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe this channel. Thank you. Good night. Namaskar.